Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back at the AI Sports Show. We had a crazy week, and Isaiah and I are going to dive deep into that.
Crazy week here.
NFL free agency, Bucks road trip, couple remaining free agents that we're going to talk about. But yeah, welcome back. Thanks for all the love on the first episode, and let's keep kicking some ass.
Yeah.
Isaiah, what do we want to start off with, big guy?
I think we're going to start off, since this was a crazy week of NFL free agency. We're Packer fans. Let's give a little bit of an RIP to our fallen Packers soldiers. Devondre Campbell, David Bakhtiari, and Aaron Jones, who of course goes to the Minnesota fucking Vikings. Like, why wouldn't he, right? Why wouldn't he?
But before we get into the goodbyes, we proved him wrong because he said, "Oh, I'll get $12 million on the open market, yada yada yada. Like I'm worth more than this," and then he takes $7 million.
Yeah.
So the Packers were right.
Yeah, they seem to be.
Like, it sucks because Aaron Jones embodies everything you want for a Packer. He is just that guy, and I don't care what you say. Any week he's not playing the Packers, I'm rooting for him to get his numbers because he's a dog. I posted on Twitter I wanted him to get 2,500 total yards and 22 touchdowns. Oof. That'll be hard to do against everybody but the Packers, but...
And you're playing for Minnesota now, who's looking pretty hapless this year.
Oofta. But hey, Minnesota's got their franchise quarterback, Mr. Sam Darnold, 1 year, $10 million. Woo! Jesus Christ, they're stupid. You got wow.
Hopefully we'll see. I mean, hopefully for our case they stick with him, but I'm assuming they have maybe another plan in the draft. But just to say on Aaron Jones, thank you, Aaron Jones, of course, for all of your service in Green Bay. You're gonna be missed. It just was a good time to move on, I guess. I'm sure we could have gotten him that $7 million a year, but we'll talk more about Josh Jacobs here in a second. But I'm pretty excited to bring him along.
That $7 million deal to go to the Vikings was literally just to stick it to the Packers brass, and that's fine. I mean, could have been. I want to say could have been worse, but it couldn't have been fucking worse. He went to the fucking Vikings, dude. Like, I love you. I will always love you. You are that guy. But motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come on.
They just always do it. It's a long history. Greg Jennings, Favre, of course. A couple of random defensive guys.
Darren Sharper.
Darren Sharper.
That history there.
It's always just in the divisions. Like the Vikings and the Bears happens a lot. The Lions don't seem to do it as much, if at all. But the Bears and the Vikings all the time seem like they're just scooping up our players. Never seems to work out. I really wanted Jones to go on a good team that had a chance. I don't know, maybe like Philly, but obviously that's not going to happen. But I don't know, some team that had a better chance to go to the making some noise in the playoffs because we love Aaron Jones. But what about Bakhtiari? What do you think about Bakhtiari? Who do you think is going to scoop him up, if anybody? How about besides the Jets? Maybe is there anybody else? I guess maybe anybody that wants an offensive lineman. But if he goes, it seems like it's going to be the Jets.
Well, offensive lines played like shit last year. With all the quarterbacks that got hurt, you had a bunch of torn Achilles. You had a lot of guys that go down because they didn't have that guy. And when healthy, Bakhtiari's that guy. He's a fucking monster. He's the best left tackle in football when healthy, and I feel so fucking bad for him. He fought for years and years trying to get back onto the field. And just the fact that his last game, he was flipping the fucking bird to Chicago fans makes it
nice,
so much better. So it's so awesome. But I wanted him and Jonesy to win a Super Bowl with the Packers. It's a damn shame it's not going to happen. But if you send him a ring after we win this year, I'm for it.
Yeah,
give him a ring. They're both Packers. I don't give a shit who they play for.
He'll be there chugging a beer, watching the parade when it happens.
Well, David Bakhtiari will be on the other sideline in the Super Bowl, playing for Green Bay East.
That would be weird.
I
Let's make it. just for the stories and the lulls, let's say they do.
Rashawn Gary versus David Bakhtiari for a whole game.
Oof, a real game.
Give me that.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Give me that all fucking day, man.
Yeah.
And both healthy. I don't know who wins that because they're both dogs.
Yeah, that'd be a tough one. I guess I would go with Gary now, but I mean they're both win something with some. But yeah, it sucks to see him. Obviously, just where that went. I guess I'm not gonna. I'm happy that we freed up the money and everything, and I guess I'm glad we don't have to worry about him just not playing the whole year. So that's nice, I guess. But he definitely was a solid rock at left tackle. And then just another guy I just wanted to mention really quick, just Devondre Campbell. He also got released from Green Bay. He had a solid first year in 21.
All pro?
Yeah, his all-pro season there. His best season in his career coming from the Falcons. He was a dog that year, and unfortunately last year he definitely took a tumble down. He had some injuries, which I was thinking we might re-sign him just because he was good when he wasn't hurt. But I guess they just wanted to free up some more money to make a move like signing McKinney and Jacobs. And that's what we had to do. I'm sure in the draft we'll probably be looking at a middle linebacker for sure. I don't know. I'm interested to see if Quay Walker can really be this number one linebacker kind of guy he's probably going to be tasked to be now. We'll see.
Well, you got to look, and I think Quay is going to take off in this defense. I really do. I think Hafley will unlock another step in him.
Ooh.
But there's also some free agent linebackers out there.
Okay. We do have a little bit more cap space still, too. The Green Bay Packers do have cap space to play with still.
And there's still a couple good fucking names out there, dude. A guy that gave us hell in the 21 championship game against the Buccaneers.
Devin White? Or
Devin motherfucking White.
Devin White, yeah.
He got benched in the playoffs this last year. I don't know what happened there, but
yeah,
the guy
turned weird, but he's a bruiser for sure.
The guy can fucking play. Bobby Wagner's off. He went to the Commanders, which sucks because I feel like he would have been a decent kind of lockdown. Okay, we're a good guy.
I would have loved Bobby Wagner in Green Bay. His pass coverage skills have gone down, but he's always been one of my favorite players outside of the Packers. And just to see him where his career is probably going to end in a what the hell organization of the Washington Commanders, it's kind of sad, but whatever. He got paid, so that's cool. I'm sure he's getting old now, so.
And then a couple more guys that I wouldn't mind seeing in a Packers uniform is Shaquille Leonard. He was with the Colts and then went to the Eagles, and now he's a free agent.
Okay.
And then Jerome Baker. He usually plays outside linebacker, which we don't need, but he's just one of those guys. He played with our new linebackers coach, Anthony Campanelli. I really hope I'm saying that correctly.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Sounds Italian.
Yep. But Jerome Baker, he was a dog, and I think dog. And the linebackers coming in, there really aren't that many good in the draft, so I really hope they add a guy or two in free agency because you got a lot of safeties and you got a lot of corners and a lot of offensive linemen, which I think they're going to take a couple after adding Josh Jacobs and trying to keep Jordan Love on his fucking feet.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We need definitely before our season started getting turned around and became a lot better for the Packers this past year. I was looking at what I kind of wanted, and offensive line was my first initial idea of what we're going to go for because it seemed like earlier in the season the Packers' offensive line just literally straight up could not block. They were missing things left and right. They were whiffing. It was so embarrassing. It seemed like the struggles for the Packers started off with like we needed to run the ball and establish the run and get the play action, and our linemen couldn't even stay on their feet for the first few weeks. So I'm just like, that's what I thought. I don't know what happened. It turned everything around. I immediately thought we're going to get an offensive lineman right away because I thought we were going to get a high draft pick. But still, obviously, looking to get an offensive lineman would be nice. A linebacker for sure. We're going to, especially like we were saying last week, we just need a lot of depth pieces, I think. We got a lot of studs, but knock on wood, nothing bad happens to anybody. But you need the depth, and this is football, of course. So we're definitely going to be active, I think, still, and maybe in free agency. a little bit. It seems like Brian Gutekunst is he does not give a fuck. This dude will cut anybody that you love if the money is not there and the situation's not right, and if they see someone they want to spend money on, they'll go for it. I respect the hell out of it. It's pretty different. I mean, our last guys just didn't seem like they did a lot of this, for sure. It works and it doesn't work.
A couple Packer writers that work with a team, they were all joking that they can't take week-long vacations for the first week of free agency because the Packers never did anything. Now, they make one of the biggest splashes in all of free agency.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball.
Literally.
Excuse me. You bring in Josh Jacobs and you bring in Xavier McKinney, you made your team better in the matter of a couple hours.
Literally.
You really did. I mean, we mentioned McKinney last week. Like, we want him on our team. Every Packer fan wanted that guy on our team, and now he is.
Oh, yeah.
And it was fun. Did you see what he was posting on Twitter earlier today about his numbers?
I think I did see something about that. He just wanted to know what his number should be.
He asked about the number 15.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Only Packer legend Bart Starr. No biggie. R.I.P. But
yeah. Okay, yeah, I did see that. And someone commented, like, sorry, bud, that one's actually taken.
And then he apologized straight after, like, sorry, we even make mistakes too as players. Like, well...
He doesn't know everyone that's retired in Green Bay. Shit, I'm sure he's heard of Bart Starr. The dude doesn't know, I'm sure, all of Bart Starr's history.
He's been in a dungeon with the Giants the last couple of years, okay?
Yeah.
Let's give him a break. And may I remind you, Isaiah, that Xavier McKinney, he is the one that batted the ball down on 4th and goal against Aaron fucking Rodgers in London.
In London, yeah.
In fucking London. That guy pissed me off like that motherfucker. And now we're going to have that motherfucker against every other team in the NFL.
Literally.
Like,
he's so awesome. Like, I think last week I was saying how he has a great tackling grade. I wasn't sure about his pass coverage grade. Well, guess what, everybody? It's great all around. He hasn't missed a game in like 2 years. I don't know at least I know he didn't miss a game last year. I don't know about previously. It hasn't been a lot. The dude tackles well. He covers well. It's almost fucking close to say he's one of the best safeties in the entire NFL. Especially since a lot of them are getting old. So, I mean, I would almost based off those stats I'm seeing, it seems like he is top 3-4 safeties in the league. I've hardly ever heard of this guy until recently because he was on the Giants. And we got him now. And just what Jeff Hafley was talking about, what we need in our defense and how much that safety is going to shine and what we need, he sounds like exactly what we want. So, I'm absolutely excited for McKinney's presence. I'm always hopeful, obviously. We're just hopeful we're going to get somebody. And this guy actually came to Green Bay. I got that notification. I was through the roof. It was after Jones was gone, I'm pretty sure. And I got that notification. I was just like, honestly, that's just what I wanted. I got what I wanted. So.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely in that top echelon of players. I think there's only a few that are gapped a little above him. Obviously, he can close that gap because he is only 24 years old.
Yeah, it's insane.
How the Giants didn't... Oh, my God.
He'll be 25 this spring, I think. But
right in a training camp, I think.
It's ridiculous.
You don't let a guy of this caliber walk at 24 years old. I'm sorry, but whatever. But I think he's just a tiny step below the Derwin James, the Minkah Fitzpatricks, and the Antonio Winfields of the world.
Yeah.
Because before Winfield got tagged, Packers fans wanted him and McKinney both.
Yeah, Winfield definitely would have been probably the top guy for sure. If we would have had Winfield, I maybe would have been a little bit more excited. But no, at this point, McKinney is the absolute stud that we want.
I think he's in that same level of like Kyle Hamilton, a Butter Baker, and a Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
And then right below him, I would say, is Chancey Gardner-Johnson, Jamal Adams, Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith is fucking good, but he's old.
Yeah, he is still damn good.
He just took a pay cut to stay on the Vikings, which it's cool. He's a Viking. He embodies a fucking choker. I mean, Viking.
Yeah, I've always respected Harrison Smith. Harry the Hitman.
Yeah, that kid can play. But I think we now have the best safety in the NFC North, sorry. But he has a chance to really show, especially in this defense, in this scheme, he is the best safety in football. And he's going to have to prove that because Derwin James, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Antonio Winfield Jr. will have something to say about that. But I mean,
The future is going to be nice. Yeah, I think a lot of what McKinney was saying, of course everyone believes this, but he's very young. But he was saying he believes his best football is right ahead of him. So I remember when a few years ago when the Packers went out to get Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, Adrian Amos, one comment Brian Gutekunst made was that he believed that these players' best football was still ahead of them. And they've shown like what they can do, but he still believes the best football is in front of them. And I think they definitely proved that at that moment. But I definitely believe McKinney, this dude's going to be probably one of the best safeties in the league for sure in a year or so, a couple of years. And we got him in Green Bay, baby.
woo! Let's flip to the other side of the ball and talk about some running back. You know, his name's Josh Jacobs. You know,
Josh Jacobs.
He led the league in rushing yards 2 years ago when he actually had solid quarterback play throughout the whole year. I say solid, not good.
And better O-line play.
And then this last year he took a dump, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's the Raiders.
Yeah, no, for real.
It's a poverty franchise. R.I.P. Devontae Adams.
Unfortunately, if you're a running back on a bad team, you're just most likely not going to be having a good season. You're going to be playing from behind. You're not going to be pounding the rock. You're not going to it's just not going to happen. I've heard Josh Jacobs does very little in the receiving game. I don't know. I guess I really didn't know too much about that, but people say he does very little in that, which is Aaron Jones brought a lot of that. But I think what we need, though, I don't know if it'd be nice just for a change because they are a little bit different types of runners. But Jacobs just seems more of like that bruising running back that can handle a absolute full workload. He's like 4 years younger than Aaron Jones, which completely threw me off guard. For some reason, I thought they were like the same age. But
4 years younger.
yeah, I
Youth
think
movement.
that alone right there kind of just really justifies everything for me. I mean, like all of us, Aaron Jones gonna have a soft spot in our heart. But I'm very looking forward to this move. Some people are saying it's like a lateral move, which is what I was kind of thinking at first. But the more I think about it, like it does seem like Jacobs is more of a. I don't know if they're very similar backs. Like it's hard for me to rate one of them better than the other, but this seems less like a move that the Packers are just wanting to move forward and do something potentially better.
I will go on record saying he is better than Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a top 5 running back in the NFL. I will not back down on that. But
yeah,
Josh Jacobs, Christian McCaffrey, and
Barkley,
maybe Barkley is better. Henry 3 years ago, Henry.
Yeah,
sure.
at this point it's hard to say on that.
But Aaron Jones is arguably easily top 7, no doubt top 5. But Josh Jacobs 2 years ago, he led the fucking league in rushing. I mean,
yeah,
he had 1,600 yards rushing.
And I was kind of thinking earlier too. I mean, we've had Aaron Jones, we've had our chances with him. Aaron Rodgers had Aaron Jones. We've had Aaron Jones in the playoffs and championship games, and it just really hasn't fully come together. I mean, we can point at random times when Aaron Jones has made some goofy-ass mistakes in games where he just, like, randomly cuts backwards when he's running straight down the field and decides that there's, like, a ghost in front of him or something, and he gets scared. I don't know. He's had some weird moments. He's had some fumbles in the playoffs. He got hurt once. A lot of it's just super unfortunate. He's an absolute dog, but I want to see Josh Jacobs in the playoffs getting 15 to 20 carries, potentially in Green Bay in the cold.
And Josh Jacobs, I mean, he's, other than his rookie season, he's had at least 45 targets every year. And
Okay.
anywhere from 200 to 400 yards receiving. But the crazy thing is he's never had a receiving touchdown. Obviously, he's always rushing them, so he doesn't need a receiving touchdown.
Exactly.
But
we've seen Josh Jacobs score 80, 75-yard rushing touchdowns.
he had that walk-off against, that OT walk-off against somebody. I can't remember who.
In
But
Seattle,
it was
I
like
think.
85 yards gone. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Aaron Jones would have got tackled there.
I think I remember I had a bet on that game for, pretty sure Seattle to win that one, and one play in overtime. Josh Jacobs said good night. So, looking forward to that. Jacobs is going to be nice. McKinney and Jacobs are, I believe, the only two people we have signed from outside the team.
Brought back Keyshawn Nixon, good old K9.
I was going to say, we didn't get that re-signed for Keyshawn Nixon. It was a 3-year deal. Obviously, he's a damn good kick returner. We saw his electric kick return in the playoffs versus the 49ers, which he fumbled. And
Eric Wilson saved our ass, and we brought him back too.
Yeah, I was going to say he also was returned, so that's nice. Keyshawn Nixon, from what I saw last year, seems like a slightly below average cornerback when he's getting a lot of snaps. He had an interception off Mahomes, from which sealed that game, which was awesome. He seemed like he got a little bit better as the year went on in playing cornerback, but when I first saw him playing corner, I was like, oh shit, I didn't know this dude was one of our starting corners. I don't like that.
No, I feel like in this new scheme under Hafley, I think he will take a very big step in the right direction. I think he will be on the field a lot of times on the defense, unless they go make another splash, which they might, but it's highly unlikely. So bringing K9 back was a really big thing for me. Yeah. Obviously, 2-time All-Pro kick returner. That alone is worth it to me.
Yeah.
$6 million a year is really expensive for a fucking kick returner, don't get me wrong. But he's going to be playing defense. He's going to be unlocked by Hafley. And locking him in for 3 years. Rick Bisaccia's fucking sweetheart. It's a must. It was a big deal, and I'm very happy about it.
How good has Green Bay's special teams been over the last 15 years or so, minus a Randall Cobb play here or there?
Not very good.
Pretty bad. That's definitely why they spent a lot of money on Rich Bisaccia, and now they're spending money on Keyshawn Nixon too. But I mean, if we're serious about making a potential playoff run, you got to look at every single asset of your team. And including kick return and punting shit, even punting, obviously. Everything makes if you're just like a team that's like, you're going to be average, you might overlook some of those things. But if you want to make a serious playoff run, you got to check every box on your team. Which I think a lot of people, like, obviously you make your way to the playoffs and you might have those glaring issues. But if you want to have like a potential run, like the Packers, I'm sure, are thinking now, they got to look at that. And they are, so... They're making moves. I mean, that's literally a move in every facet. Offense, defense, special teams. We've gotten some money spent.
Yeah, Eric Wilson and Keyshawn Nixon are all pro level guys on the special team side of things. They're both always on the field out there. And bringing those guys back, I think, is huge.
Wilson, it's going to be nice having him. Hopefully he doesn't have to recover a lot of fumbles. We just see him blocking and potentially tackling, and he did have a good when he came in a little bit towards the end of the season too, coming in for Campbell. Whenever Campbell was hurt, we had McDuffie and Wilson a little bit. McDuffie seemed like he did all right too for coming in for middle linebacker. Give him respect because they're both named Isaiah. So, how can you not like the guy?
And he played under Jeff Hafley at Boston College.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's nice to get that familiarity in town. Man, yeah, very exciting offseason for the Packers. What about what are we thinking about some of the other moves here made in the league? It was a really busy free agency week. I mean, holy shit! I'm sure there has been a busy time, but I feel like this is one of the busiest free agency weeks I've ever seen across the whole NFL. And just to point a little jab, the Dallas Cowboys have not signed anybody, and they're the only team to not sign anybody outside the NFL.
Oops.
But yeah.
How about them Cowboys? Chiefs retained Chris Jones.
Yeah, Chris Jones staying there. That's pretty wild. They got a big old contract there. I couldn't imagine him.
$158 million, no biggie, but he deserves every penny because he is the cornerstone on that defense.
Yeah, he's so good. Like, for people mentioned it before, it seems like every playoff game, it's like a third or fourth down, and it's always Chris Jones making that play. Like, a lot of people forget about the interior D lineman until they're making the play, and Chris Jones consistently does that. So that was a huge signing there. What's another one? Falcons, obviously. I got Kirko chains. We were kind of saying that was definitely a lot of people's prediction. He got a $180 million contract there for 4 years. all Kirk Cousins does is collect big old contracts there, apparently.
Yeah, his negotiation skills are Hall of Fame level.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But the guy can play, and he becomes the nucleus now in that Atlanta offense, and they're winning that division. I don't care what other moves they make, what else they do. They're winning that division.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a big part of it. And if they have a good enough record, he'll be in the MVP conversation. The guy can fucking play.
Yeah. They should be good enough. The only thing I wouldn't be worried about if I was them, when you have a rookie head coach, they should be good enough to overcome that. Maybe the guy will be a Sean McVay or something, or maybe not even that good, but just good enough to do him up. And it's got to be really weird for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they had this division in their hands mainly because the rest of it was so bad. The Panthers, Falcons, Saints. I mean, the Saints had ups and downs there, but yeah, the Buccaneers won that division very luckily, honestly, and they went all out signing. Got Mike Evans and Baker Mayfield both back for a lot of money, and
Levante David they just signed today.
Yeah, but I feel like they've got those first Mayfield and Evans back before Kirk Cousins came. Do you think that maybe if Cousins would have came before, they would have kind of not tried to do all this? I feel like before Cousins, they were like, "This is our division," and now it's just like, "Oh shit!" Well, we're competing.
Well, Baker Mayfield did have a perfect passer rating against a certain team last year. We won't say who. Packers.
First time ever in Lambeau history.
But, no, I think they made all the right moves. They really couldn't have done much more because other than Kirk Cousins, there really wasn't that good of a quarterback market out there. I mean, they could have went out and got Sam Darnold like the Vikings did. Really made a difference.
That's a move.
That's a move. But, no... I mean, the Buccaneers, they had Baker Mayfield. That's all they could really do. He brought them to the playoffs, so you kind of got to bring him back. You bring back Mike Evans, who's Mr. 1,000, never doesn't have a 1,000-yard receiving season.
Literally.
So I think it'll be those two. Well, it'll be the Falcons, gap. Buccaneers, gap. Then the other two.
See if potential Bryce Young mega jump, if that happens. But
well... The Eagles offered the Panthers 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns at the trade deadline, and then they settle for a couple day 3 picks?
Yeah.
Are you fucking stupid?
Yeah, they've been some very questionable.
What are you doing? What are you doing? The Bryce Young thing, everyone thought Bryce Young would be better. That's fine. But Brian Burns, what are you doing? The Christian McCaffrey deal, what are you doing?
Literally.
They're just a poverty franchise.
They don't know what they're doing. They're going in a horrible direction. You can't give them any fault for picking Bryce Young, but it just hurts and stings hard to see C.J. Stroud have the season he had over there in
But then when
Houston.
you deny 2 firsts and then take a 5th and a 6th, 6 months later, it's really hard to feel bad for you.
Yeah,
it's really fucking hard to feel bad.
Yeah, there's been I've heard a couple of rumors where people are just offering a lot for players, and it's like their value is when it's there, you should almost take it because in a year or so, it's a gamble with everybody. You either are super good and you're worth it, or you're not worth it, like the Panthers are. So, interesting division there. Congratulations, Kirk Cousins.
To winning the division.
Yeah. That'd be a fun playoff game. Kirk Cousins, Falcons versus the Packers.
In Green Bay? Yeah, I'll see you there, Isaiah.
Yeah, I'll be excited to see Josh Jacobs get 30 carries or 25 carries against that defense.
Well, that's the funny part, because when you had Aaron Jones, there would always be these, oh, where's Aaron Jones?
Literally.
Where's Aaron Jones? You're not going to see that anymore. We got a bell cow.
Yeah, I think they're almost scared with Aaron Jones because he was kind of injury prone-ish. I mean, I think Jacobs has missed a few more games over the last 4 years than Jones, but Jones did have lingering hamstring issues for a 30-year-old, and that's something that teams like a lot. So they almost felt scared to give it to him a lot. And Josh Jacobs, he's gonna want it. He's gonna be able to handle it. Them fresh, young, 26-year-old legs.
Bring them on. Bring them on.
We got
the Steelers made a couple.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing in Patrick Queen and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
They're better.
Yeah.
They're way better. Russell Wilson can fucking throw the football.
Yeah.
And Patrick Queen next to T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Oofta. And then you got Minka Fitzpatrick behind you.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Russell Wilson taking the veteran minimum contract there. Obviously, he basically had to if he wanted to keep playing football. He's getting 60 or I think 30 or 60 million dollars from the Broncos still.
Yep.
So he's not worried about money, so he can literally go anywhere. But he's getting the veteran minimum there in Pittsburgh. But yeah, he had a good season last year, honestly. I mean, Cortland Sutton, I don't know if he carried Russell Wilson, but he had about 7 top of the year catches basically. And Wilson was throwing those balls, but their offense wasn't. You can say Wilson wasn't the reason for their struggles last year. Sure, he wasn't propelling them, but he wasn't the reason for the Broncos' struggles this last year. And Russell Wilson will be way better than Kenny Pickett, way better than Mason Rudolph. And they still have Najee Harris over there, so they're making moves. And I do like that Patrick Queen signing. He gets a good contract there. Obviously, really wanted him on the Packers when he first came out of the draft. I think he kind of was way overhyped. I mean, at first, he did not live up to it right away, but being next to Roquan Smith in Baltimore, I don't know if that was it, but he definitely had a damn good season. He's been doing better and better. So,
well, going from a legendary defense to a legendary defense, there's really not going to be much change there.
Yeah, yeah. So, good job, Steelers, making some splashes. Splash, splash.
The Ravens on the other side,
Bum, bum, bum.
they brought in Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry to Baltimore, baby.
King Henry and fucking Lamar Jackson.
Woo!
Jesus Christ.
That's fun.
That's annoying as fuck in the playoffs, dude.
Yeah.
That is so annoying.
That's going to be
You're ready
very
for
annoying.
Lamar to run around you and just Derrick Henry runs through you.
They're going to be doing read options every single play. Like, honestly, it's either going to it's going to be in that formation of Derrick Henry lined up right next to Lamar Jackson's right shoulder. And then just the threat of, is it going to be Lamar? Is it going to be Derrick Henry? That's going to be at you almost every single play. I'm glad to be on the opposite conference there. Glad to not be a Steelers-Browns fan. I got a coworker that's a Browns fan, and I've told him that I actually announced that pick, or that the signing to him at work, and he was like, "Oh, Henry." He's like, he's old." That's all he had to say. He did not seem to be too worried at all. Which, yeah, Henry's old, but
He's scared.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be against him. I'd be a little worried having Derrick Henry in my division, not being on my team. Yeah, he's old, but it's still Derrick Henry, man. You still got to tackle Derrick Henry. And people say, like, he's injury prone, but the dude had, like, I don't know, someone, like, breaks an ankle or something, which is what happened to Derrick Henry. I won't consider a broken bone injury prone. If you're having consistent hamstring issues or some kind of muscle thing, but if you break your fucking bone in the NFL and someone calls you injury prone, like, you're just not watching.
That's garbage.
This is football, and, like, he literally snapped his ankle 2 years ago. I don't know. I forgot what happened this last year. And, yeah, he's getting old. He's a bruiser. The football is taking a toll on him, but I think injury prone gets thrown out too much sometimes, a lot of these guys, especially if you just break a bone.
2 years, $16 million. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I would take that if I were any team in the NFL. I don't care. He's worth the risk. He's worth taking a flyer like that. Only 16 mil. I say only $16 million. It's a lot of fucking money. But for NFL players, that's really ain't shit.
Yeah.
The Titans snagged Calvin Ridley today.
Oh, yeah.
4-year, $92 million. They traded away A.J. Brown to sign an older Calvin Ridley a couple years later.
Yeah, that is the AJ Brown thing right in the draft when they traded him. That was just such a weird one. I mean, the Titans to me have just been going nowhere for a long time. I think they were a number 1 seed a few years ago, but even then they got bounced right away. I think the Packers did too the same year, but like the Titans just seem like they've just been going nowhere for a while. And yeah, you get rid of AJ Brown, he goes to the Eagles, they go to the Super Bowl. So that's an interesting one to spend the money on Calvin Ridley, who had an okay season with Trevor Lawrence. And I don't know, we'll see. Like, who is their quarterback? Oh, they got the young dude. What's his name?
Not Tannehill, but
Yeah, Tannehill, he might be Gonzo's.
Levis.
Yeah, Will Levis. That's his
Levis.
name. Will Levis. Forget about him. See, I forget about everybody in Tennessee. Can't remember the damn quarterback. But we'll see if Levis might show out this year. So I guess that gives him a guy that can make plays. But they lose Henry and gain, Ridley. That's not a great move, honestly.
Yeah, so who will be running for the Titans will be very interesting this next year.
Yeah. Oh, they got Tony Pollard.
I guess that's not bad.
Yeah.
Bringing in Pollard and Ridley to have for Levis, I mean, they're not going to do anything. They don't scare me. The Houston Texans will be good. The Colts will be good. The Jaguars will be good. So, yeah, they're plopped right there at the bottom of their fucking division, man.
Yeah.
And-
That's going to be rough.
And you're in the AFC, so you're not going to get into the playoffs with a 10-7 record.
I guess they're just hoping to boost Will Levis's development, spend some money now, which you kind of want to do the opposite when you have a young quarterback. Well, I guess when you have a young quarterback, you do want to spend the money because you can until he gets the contract. But yeah, I guess they're doing something. We'll see. Maybe we'll see a random surprise Tennessee Titans team fighting the Houston Texans in like week 17 randomly. Who the hell knows? I doubt it, but
Highly doubt it.
yeah.
But anything's possible.
Some of the other random names, just list off a couple here. Gardner Minshew went to the Raiders.
Starting quarterback one.
Jacoby Brissett to the Patriots. Jameis Winston to the Cleveland Browns.
Winston to the Browns, that one was weird. Obviously, they have a lot of uncertainty with Deshaun Watson, but Jameis Winston's a starting quarterback. I mean, the Vikings should have picked him up. He's better than fucking Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I was surprised the Jets didn't try to make a move at him last year. I mean, everybody was kind of confused when Rodgers went down and the Jets made 0 moves to get a quarterback. Like, they just kind of went with Wilson. They had like a decent roster. Like, if you think Rodgers could take you to the Super Bowl, I mean, at least try to get a different guy for a year. Winston would have been there. That would have looked really goofy seeing Jameis Winston in the Jets colors. It takes a very rare kind of player to look like a stud in Jets colors. It's a very weird looking green. It's like a dead green. I don't know. It's like a faded green. It's like it's been sitting out in the freaking rain all day. It was Packers green, then it turned to Jets green after about 2 years sitting outside.
It's like oofda.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Drew Lock also to the New York Giants, former Bronco, former Seahawk. We didn't really mention Saquon Barkley went to the Eagles on a nice big contract there. They move on from DeAndre Swift, and Barkley goes to the Eagles. So that's a pretty interesting one.
They got way better there.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is good, but he's no Saquon Barkley. Saquon is a dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Giants. What are you doing? You let Saquon and McKinney walk in the same fucking offseason?
Literally.
What are you doing?
They also seem a little lost, along with the Titans. A little lost.
Jesus.
Daniel Jones is probably not going to be ready by the start of the season because of his ACL injury.
Tommy DeVito time.
Yeah, DeVito, I'm sure the Packers made him look like a god. But
And then he sucked and got benched 2 weeks later.
It's going to be interesting there.
Aren't you looking forward to not dealing with that anymore? Watching quarterbacks go off against us?
Literally. 2 weeks in a row, it was Tommy DeVito and then Baker Mayfield, Players of the Week.
No, and then Bryce Young, too.
Oh, and then Bryce Young.
And then they almost beat us.
They scored their most points of the year. That alone was worth that 3-game stretch was worth Joe Barry being fired. And I guess they looked at it the same. So we are happy to be moving on from there. There's definitely, I'm looking at some of the offensive lineman signings. Nothing too crazy or spectacular.
John Runyon Jr. got paid, former Packer.
Yeah, we did
Happy to
lose
see
him.
that.
Yeah, I wasn't too. 3 years, $30 million with the Giants. There's a move the Giants made.
Look at him go.
Got a super average guard. Like, this dude, I swear, is like the epitome of average.
But then again, that goes to saying, like, the average, and they're going to pay $10 million a year for that. That's how bad offensive line has been this last year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. Did you know John Runyon's dad played college with Tom Brady?
That's weird. That's really weird.
Yeah. The Packers, when we played the Buccaneers 2 years ago, I think, I just watched the random mic'd up and Tom Brady went up to John Runyon and it was just like, hey, I played with your dad in Michigan.
Usually that's the younger guy pointing it out.
Yeah.
Not the older guy like, hey, I'm fucking old. Like,
Literally.
Yeah, you are. Retire, motherfucker.
Buffalo Bills, they lost a lot of players. They did re-sign their left tackle, Deion Dawkins, the Snowman. He's a goofy man. I got a close brother that is a huge Bills fan, so we get all the inside info on the Buffalo Bills team.
Travis, I'm sorry, but their window is closed.
Yeah, it has been a horrible offseason for the Bills. Nothing that's been their fault besides paying Josh Allen the money he probably deserves, but they are losing a lot of people. So
Does he? Does he deserve it?
Does
he?
Maybe not that much money. Well,
If he runs into Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, home or away, he's losing. So is he worth it?
we'll give him another chance. He hasn't had the rosters they have.
This year he had one of the best rosters in football. Had Patrick Mahomes at home, and he couldn't even do it. He couldn't even do it.
I still think their offense could have had at least another. Okay, Mahomes' offense was definitely worse, but they still.
Other than Travis Kelce, who did he have? A rookie wide receiver as his number one.
Yeah.
And Mahomes went into Buffalo.
Buffalo, their defense was demolished. They had AJ Klein, who was almost 40 years old, defending Travis Kelce. If the Bills had it healthy, they would have crushed the Chiefs. Would have had no chance if the Bills had a healthy defense. That's what I was hoping for the Baltimore defense to do against them. But I think the Chiefs would have stood zero chance if Buffalo would have had somewhat of a defense in that game. This was like Ladarius Gunter covering Julio Jones levels of defensive bad. Josh Allen definitely could be doing more to carry the team, but
I don't think we need to rebuild. I think we need to reload. And then Keegan-Michael Key. Help! Help me! I know you guys like Hail Marys. Well, what would be nice? If I didn't have to throw so many goddamn Hail Marys.
They, in fact, did not help him.
Our linebackers have never met each other.
That was good.
Christ.
That was an all-timer right there.
Oh, and
even comedians saw how bad it was at the time.
So, speaking of Rodgers, vice president candidate.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What?
That is an interesting thing there. RFK.
Oh, man.
Did he say it was happening, or did this just I don't even see exactly what happened. I just heard people saying Aaron Rodgers for RFK as vice president. So.
I don't like diving into politics, but wow. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. An NFL starting quarterback. A 4-time MVP starting quarterback for vice president?
Apparently anybody can be president.
Jesus Christ.
Man. But yeah. Rodgers, he just is overall an interesting guy. Politics, non-politics, the way he recovers from things, the way he talks about things, the way he is. Even his memory, he can remember everything. I think maybe Rodgers is slightly autistic. Maybe. Just slightly. Just we'll help him. But yeah, that's probably a good amount of the free agents. We covered a whole lot there. Very busy free agency.
One move I really like is the Houston Texans scooping up Danielle Hunter.
Oh,
2-year, $49 million. Yeah. Him and Will Anderson, that's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
That is so annoying to have to deal with.
That is really nice. That is definitely a big move there. That's perfect for their defense. They got such a FU attitude. And that's kind of what D'Amico Ryans has brought to the team since being a former defender. You wouldn't expect any less coming out of someone who used to play in the NFL on defense. The Vikings, they did get a few linebackers. Andrew Van Ginkel coming off of a season-ending injury. So
Former Badger there. We are Andrew Van Ginkel fans. He's got good hair.
I would be a little bit more worried if he wasn't coming off this injury, but because he had the injury, like it's gonna take some time for him to get back to himself. He was like getting to be pretty good. Now I feel like it definitely is gonna give him a step back. But
During our late season trumping against the Vikings this coming year, he'll get a sack.
yeah,
He's good.
he'll show up and be like, oh, he got a little faster there, and the Packers win 35-15. 14.
You're giving him 15 points? That's a lot.
Yeah.
You got to chill out there, bud. This is Sam Darnold.
I'm gonna say they have 7, and then they just go for 2 at the end just to do it.
Garbage time touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Any other free agents that you want to talk about that you wouldn't mind seeing in a Packer uniform?
I don't know who the hell is left. But I would hope maybe just potentially like a depth cornerback or a linebacker maybe. Maybe like a veteran corner. Because I think, I still don't know Eric Stokes' status. I still keep forgetting about him. He's on the team. But
He's a wild card. If he can get back to his rookie season, he's a starter on this defense. But
yeah,
that all depends on injury. And injuries are hard to come back from, man. But,
yeah.
I mean, if you can go get a Kendall Fuller, that would be really nice. He's young. He's good. And then I already mentioned Jerome Baker. Yeah, he's an outside linebacker guy. But with Kingsley Enagbare being hurt, I think a depth piece there would make sense. Then 2 more names just to throw out there. Chase Young.
Ooh.
He's young. He played under Halfley, if I remember correctly, or just missed him by a year, one of the two. But 2 Ohio State guys being
Okay.
on the side of defense, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
And then fucking Eric Armstead. 49ers cut him.
I thought I heard he. Maybe that's what I heard. He got cut. I remember hearing something about him. I think that's what it was. I don't think he was signed yet.
If he got signed, we don't know about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
Oofed up.
How about Oren Burks? I'm seeing Oren Burks linebacker.
God.
He's available, former Packer.
That's a depth piece. He played in the Super Bowl next to when Greenlaw went down, and he didn't do anything. They targeted him.
Right. Yeah, that's never a good thing when you get targeted multiple times.
No. So, as a depth piece, as a special teams guy, sure. Cool.
He seemed like he kind of showed up like as a depth piece on San Francisco, but we need something more of a starting position there. There's really not a whole lot available for linebackers for sure, but yeah, there's a couple corners. I can't. Who's Trey White? I mean, shit. I'm gonna throw that out there. He's coming off of ACL, I believe. But Tre'Davious White from the Bills, his rookie year and second year, he was damn good. He was just released, so I'd be willing to take a shot on him, depending on where his injury's at.
Go get White.
Yeah, he was from LSU. He was amazing. I think he's had 2 maybe ACLs now, but I would still get him. If he wants it, he wants it. He's a dog. But yeah, there's still even random safeties available. Micah Hyde is still available.
We are big Micah Hyde fans at this podcast.
We still are lacking safeties. Xavier McKinney is obviously a dog, but we are very short on safeties still.
I don't know. I think Keyshawn in this defense, I think he'll flip over to safety. I really do, because he'd be a better safety than he is a corner. He's still a decent corner.
Yeah.
But I think you have that. And then you still have Anthony Johnson Jr., which I'll take Micah Hyde.
Yeah.
Give me Micah Hyde, but I think they'll look for the draft more so on that. And actually, I think we should do a mock draft here in a little bit before we flip to NBA stuff. What do you think?
We could try it out.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
And we're definitely picking one of these safeties coming out of college. That's happening.
Yeah. I'm seeing random names still available here in the NFL. AJ Dillon, Mike Williams, Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, Mike Williams just got cut, actually.
Yeah.
So that's
Michael Thomas just got cut as well. Tyron Smith on the offensive line. He's kind of old, but he's a good tackle. Alexander Madison still available. Very mid. Ezekiel Elliott is available.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on one of those running backs. I mean,
Yeah.
when you have Josh Jacobs, it really doesn't fucking matter who your number 2 is.
Yeah. Just
If that's Zeke, cool, great. I think they're going to draft a couple guys, but
they got experience. They might as well get some reps in there. But yeah, a couple. Quandre Diggs too. He was a safety off the Seahawks. He was released. He had a damn good rookie season, I do believe. But yeah, a lot of names still available. These guys, a good amount of these guys are still gonna be picked up. Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill, Joshua Dobbs, Carson
Jimmy
Wentz.
G. String. If he signs in Green Bay, Jordan Love's fucked.
Yeah.
Oofda.
Oofda.
No, Jimmy Garoppolo sucks ass. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
He's not good.
That's what made it even worse when he only threw 8 passes and still kicked our ass in that game. That proved that he
Raheem
wasn't.
Mostert.
Yeah.
God damn it.
People are like, Jimmy Garoppolo, all he does is win. I'm like, do you remember that game? He handed the ball off like 40 times and passed it 8 times, and they whooped our ass?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you got to do to win the game, but I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is not good. And they lost that Super Bowl because he missed a few throws. I don't know. I never saw anything in Garoppolo. Unfortunately, like I said, it makes that L sting a little harder. Just a little harder.
It hurts.
But yeah, we look for the Packers. Whether or not they sign another guy, they will be aggressive here in the obviously in the draft. He's going to be just as aggressive as anybody else unless they decide to draft up or anything, trade up. But I think we should get a corner still. Corner or safety still, depending on how it falls. I did see a random mock draft that you made that had us getting Kool-Aid and Chop Robinson.
Yeah. Kool-Aid McKinstry. He is a guy from Alabama. He can play press. He can play zone. And we had the Smith Bros. They weren't actually brothers, but we had the Smith Bros. But having McKinney and McKinstry.
Yeah.
Who picked it off, McKinney or McKinstry? I don't know, but they're in the end zone. Okay.
And also Ballantyne and Valentine at the same time.
I mean,
all 4 of those guys could be on the field at the same time.
other than the name rhymes, I think Kool-Aid makes a lot of sense. There were a couple big NFL guys that had him number 1 on their board. And then Chop Robinson, he is an edge guy. So, yes, we are good at edge. But just the sheer speed and strength that this kid has out of Penn State.
If he fell to us, I would be okay with taking him.
He's definitely a second-round guy. We can use that pick 41, or hell, even if he drops to 58, holy shit, that'd be big. But I think Kool-Aid, if he's there and the Packers don't pick him up, I will kind of be upset. I think he is the best corner. And then Terry Nardle and Quinion Mitchell are right behind him. All really, really, really good corners. But I think you need to go after and get one of these top guys because Jair's not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And I love the guy, and another guy I wouldn't mind having is Nate Wiggins out of Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
He's a shit talker. He is the biggest shit talker, just like Jair. So if you are on one side and Wiggins is there, and then go on the other side and Jair's there, you're fucking annoyed all game. So go get one of these guys.
Just to add another piece to our defense there in the secondary would be really nice. So we're a little thin. We got some young guys though. Like the whole team is young, but just to shore that position up, I think you can never have enough corners. It's one of those things. You never have enough corners, never enough wide receivers. So let's get another corner, or safety.
Speaking of corners, all right, we're on the clock, Isaiah.
All right, we're doing a little mock draft over here on the side. Green Bay.
So the best 2 available are, according to this website, Cooper DeJean, cornerback out of Iowa, and Jerzon Newton, interior defensive lineman for Illinois. I think we're good on interior. there's a couple guys on the front five. There's a tackle, Troy Fatanu from Washington. I think would be a really good selection here.
Tyler Nubin, safety.
Newman from Minnesota. I don't think he's going to last this long. I don't think he'll be there at 25, and you just went out and got the best guy on the market. So they might use a first-round pick on him, but my guy Kool-Aid is available. And TJ Tampa from Iowa State. If we keep going down, obviously, some of these guys are going to be available when we pick on 41, but I don't know what you leaning. Do you want to take a tackle? Do you want to go with White Boy DeJean? Or do you want to go with Kool-Aid?
What I've been hearing about Cooper DeJean is that he would be damn good. I think I heard you mention it last week. I heard some people say he could be a safety as well.
He looks more like a safety in the NFL, but yeah, it'd be interesting. But he would be a good player in this defense, as would Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I'd probably take Kool-Aid. Just maybe. I don't really know too much of a difference from them, but just judging off the school, I like an Alabama guy. I'm sure. I just kind of like that connection.
All right, we are taking Kool-Aid McKinstry with our 25th pick.
I would love that. If we got a corner, I'd be very happy with that.
God, that feels so good. And look at that. Tyler Nubin still on the woofda. Isaiah, do we double dip? Or do we go with a Peyton Wilson linebacker from North Carolina State? Him and Quay. Oh, fuck, that'd be fun. You also got a Zach Frazier, center from West Virginia. Troy Franklin, wide receiver out of Oregon. That kid can play. I like him a lot. Jatavion Sanders, tight end. If it weren't Brock Bowers, he'd be the number one tight end in this class. The kid can play. But we also have another pick coming up in just, I think, 16 picks.
Yeah, Packers have a lot of early draft picks, which we're very happy about. A lot of early draft picks this year. But I'm liking that linebacker, Peyton Wilson,
North Carolina State.
Another thing we need kind of a little bit of depth at.
Now, if Jaden Hicks is still on this board, man, when we pick the guy out of Washington State, I am going to woofed up. That kid can play. I don't think he's going to be there, though.
Yeah.
And he's not. The Steelers took him. Fucking assholes. All right, so you got Chris Braswell, edge from Alabama. You got Javon Bullard. Bullard is a safety that I really like. Him and Hicks are both fun. They're both really good safeties. I lean in there, but let's see what else is available. Jonah Ellis, edge from Utah. That's decent. That's decent, but you did just get a linebacker.
Seems like there's like a good amount of like safety depth. So maybe I would realistically maybe see the Packers getting like a lineman pretty quickly on like probably the second round, an offensive lineman. And then, like, probably, it seems like if you want an offensive lineman, it seems like you kind of got to go for him right away because the best ones are going to go quick. And maybe we could take, like, an offensive lineman right away and get one of these other safeties late. I'd be kind of interested in that. That's more of like a Packers move, I think. They would probably go get a good lineman on the offensive line here, I think, pretty early. We got how many picks we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 draft picks this year. We got round 2, number 41 from the Jets, and round 3, number 91 from Buffalo.
I would take back.
That's the Rasul Douglas trade.
I would take back Rasul in a heartbeat.
Yeah. The Packers have a 1, 2 2s, 2 3s, a 4, a 5, 2 6s, and 2 7s. This year in the draft. 5 picks in the top 3 rounds is pretty nice. That 5th one is the Rasul Douglas one coming from Buffalo. That does hurt. Rasul Douglas would be nice. I do like to say we have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds.
That's going to be big. And I'm very curious to see where we go.
6 picks in 4 rounds too. So the Goody seems to be like a damn good drafter. I mean, maybe right away there was like, I think his first year it was Jordan Love and that has proven to be a hell of a draft class in itself. But everybody else was kind of just like already off the team. And if Jordan Love would have faltered there, that could have costed Goody his job, obviously. But since then, it seems like he's hit on a lot of these picks. This last year, too, was, I think, his best. Besides Jordan Love, obviously. That's just like, if you could draft a franchise quarterback, that's just like an A+++. But overall, I'd say this last year, top to bottom, was our best draft with Mr. Brian Gutekunst.
The guy can draft.
Yeah. He also went to school in La Crosse, Wisconsin here.
No biggie. But I don't know, man. There's a big gap between these top few defensive players, and then you see another guard. I mean, this guard might be available the next time we pick. So, do you reach for one of these guys, or do you hope they fall to you on the next one and pick one of these best guys available? What you thinking? You know how much I like Bullard. Chris Braswell, he's an edge guy. We really don't need edge right now. Yeah. So what are you thinking? What are you feeling? And then Jonah Ellis, he's also edge.
I'd probably get Bullard at this point here.
Wow. This is going better than I could have expected, to be honest with you.
I think we've gone all defense here, but
somebody's going to fall right into our lap. Maybe one of these running backs that I like.
So I could see the Packers doing is getting an early lineman and then going like defense.
All right, now we got a lot more linemen up here. Cedric Van Pran, he's a Georgia guy. Obviously, all we do is draft Georgia guys, so that might be the pick. Mason McCormick, South Dakota State guard. They like taking guards.
Yeah, they've taken some guards too in the mid rounds.
And Max Melton, Bo Melton's brother, cornerback, is available.
Huh.
Obviously, we already got Kool-Aid, but that'd be a fun story. And then Bucky Irvin, halfback from Oregon, because Blake Corum just got selected right before us. God damn it!
Wow.
Or we can wait and hope that our Wisconsin boy Braylon Allen's available with our next pick, which he probably will be. So.
Yeah, running back too. Obviously, we need a running back.
We got the guy. We just need a guy to come in for one series here and there, and that's about it.
Yeah. I always just think. I mean, obviously Jacobs is that full carry game, like all the carries guy, but it is nice in the NFL to have the options. I mean, minus injuries. I obviously want the depth, but just to give your guy a quick break or something is always nice, and just to have that other element to be like, oh, Jacobs is out. What the hell are they doing here?
Mm-hmm. Well, and with this pick 88, we're going to have a pick. Two teams are going to pick, and then we're going to pick again. So, I mean, do we just take one of these interior linemen and...
Yeah, that's what I would do. Go into the offensive lineman there.
We'll go Van Pran since he's a Georgia guy, and that's all we fucking do is draft Georgia guys.
Yeah, I'm still nervous about our offensive line just because of how shaky they started last year. But with an extra depth piece, it'll be interesting. I mean, like Josh Myers is pretty mid,
but the Packers love him for some reason.
Yeah,
but if the Packers take one of these tackles, one of these guards with their first pick, because there's a lot of really good guys out there. I mean, Graham Barton out of Duke is really good. Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma is fucking awesome. Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon, awesome. J.C. Latham, Alabama, awesome. I mean, and there's still guys. There's still a bunch of guys that could fall to them. Amarius Mims from Georgia, another Georgia guy. Joe Alt. If there weren't so many goddamn quarterbacks in this draft, he'd be
number one. Yeah,
like he is that guy.
I've heard people say he's a generational type of offensive lineman.
And this has it going to Atlanta. You have Alt and Kirk Cousins. Yeah, good luck.
That'd be nice. That'd be kind of when Tom Brady was taken to the Buccaneers, they immediately took Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, so Joe Alt is that guy, honestly. Like, if the Packers traded up into the top 10, got rid of a couple of these picks and picked Joe Alt, I would be ecstatic.
Absolutely.
The guy can fucking play. And then Fashanu from Penn State, again, he would be in that top five.
Just slightly below Joe Alt.
Yeah, if it weren't for these wide receivers and quarterbacks in this draft, he's going early. So Don't be pissed off if the Packers go boring and take a fucking tackle or take a fucking guard because they are out there. I mean, Fatanu from Washington's really good too. I mean,
I'd be pretty happy with it, honestly, right away. Like, if we have a lot of young players on the team, but offensive lineman is just something that it's hard to just sit around and wait for because, like, that's like where it all starts in the trenches. So if we can, I mean, obviously we have to wait and see about some of these rookies, but I'd rather have a for sure offensive line and wait for a receiver or running back to get better than have good rookie receiver and questionable offensive lineman.
that's fair. I think if they went anywhere but safety, corner, or tackle, or offensive lineman in the first round, I'd be very, very surprised.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
There's no linebackers that have a first round grade. I don't know. Maybe they'd trade up and get Caleb Williams.
Trade Jordan Love for just an entire new offensive line.
Would you do that trade? Jordan Love for Caleb Williams, straight up?
No,
I wouldn't either.
no.
I wouldn't either. The Bears could throw in that 9th pick as well for Jordan Love.
Yeah.
So we would have 1, 9, and 25.
I would take like a shitload of NFL quarterbacks just because I just trust a lot of people with their. There's obviously like dudes that come in the NFL immediately and just ball, but it's always hard for me to just bet on that. I would take a lot of these. Even like, I don't know. It'd be smart to take Caleb Williams, but I think I would take sometimes even like an average quarterback sometimes. And I'd probably look stupid when Caleb Williams comes out right away and just is a complete stud, but I'm just a see it to believe it type of dude sometimes.
Jaden Daniels will be the best quarterback out of this quarterback draft. I'm calling it now.
Yeah. I just wanted to look at the Packers offensive linemen real quick. Our starters, because I kind of forgot, is left tackle Rasheed Walker, Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers, Sean Ryan at right guard, and Zach Tom at right tackle. So that's not too bad as a starting 5. Ryan looked better, but we could do better.
Hearing you say that and seeing all these tackles coming out of the draft, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're going to take a tackle or some guy in the offensive line in these first few picks. Obviously, we're not GMs here, so we like going for the fun guys. But
The fun guy. Yeah. Okay offensive lineman for the Packers, but we're also lacking a lot of depth here. Besides those 5, we have 4 offensive linemen on the roster, so 9 total.
they're going to pick up a couple guys.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. They're going to fucking snag up a couple of these guys. And
A couple of years ago, I think we drafted 3 offensive linemen. I think that was Josh Myers, and maybe that was the year before or something.
last year they didn't draft any. This year they're going to make up for it.
It's like they go every other year. They draft like 2 or 3 offensive linemen every other year.
Don't be surprised if they go ahead and get 4, honestly.
We need that O-line, baby. Excited. Very excited for the Green Bay's future here.
But man, I'm thinking Bucky Irvin here. I like this halfback.
Yeah.
Gabriel Murphy, edge. Again, we don't need edge, but we need depth. He's from UCLA. Otherwise, Ricardo Green from
Wow.
ESPN at a mind of its own there.
Yeah, it just popped up a little side notification. Don't sue us.
Don't sue us.
I heard that.
But man, looking at this, yes, this is not going to be how the draft goes. They're going to take an offensive lineman early, but if we came out with Kool-Aid, Peyton Wilson, Javon Bullard, Cedric Van Pran, and Bucky Irvin as our first 5 picks, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
God, our defense, holy shit. Yeah.
Defense wins championships. That's why the Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Defense wins championships. The Chiefs definitely didn't have one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen, ever. They just had really good defense.
That's why they won. They didn't win because of Mahomes.
But no, I would be happy with this. If Kool-Aid's there when we take a tackle that first pick, I'm going to be a little upset, not going to lie to you, but I kind of expect them to take a tackle.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
But Kool-Aid is just way more fun of a pick. And it's not because of his fucking name that's badass, because it is badass, but he's a good fucking player, man.
He's from Alabama. You can't deny them dogs out of Alabama.
Dogs.
Also, where Xavier McKinney is from, so we get a little bit of a friendship going there. So, overall, I would give this Packers free agency grade. I'm gonna give them like.
Well, do both signings grades.
Ooh, okay.
So you start with
McKinney is an A plus through the roof. I absolutely love that. Completely no problems there. Gave him the bag, which was gonna have to happen for any safety starting, but he's young and worth it. So that's an A plus.
Well, they outbid 2 other teams too.
Yeah,
You don't hear the Packers outbidding people.
Oh, yeah,
And that's fucking awesome.
you can tell they wanted him, and they were like, "That is our dude." They outbid the Eagles, I know. But yeah, and Josh Jacobs, I'm gonna give that one just like a. I'm gonna give that just like a flat B, just because. I mean, it's just like just weird how they. It just seems like a somewhat lateral move, I guess. I think it will be an upgrade from Aaron Jones for sure, but it's just like it just seems kind of random doing that. I did hear the Packers saying that they had no intentions of signing a running back, but after what they realized Aaron Jones was going to fall, they kind of just had to. But it just at the time I was just like, what the hell? That's not what I expected. Like we have other needs, but I do like it. B. We like B's. I like a B. It's probably even better than that.
Xavier McKinney, I agree. A plus. You go and get the best guy available on the market. He's young, and he is going to thrive in this fucking offense. I mean, he's no defensive player of the year, but he's good, and he's going to be a cornerstone to this defense.
Oh yeah.
And hopping over to the other side of the ball, Josh Jacobs. A plus again. I mean, he led the league in rushing 2 years ago when he had a decent nucleus around him. He has got now the youngest and arguably top 5 offense already in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
And he adds to that.
Yeah.
So
The player I'm absolutely have no problem with. In a situation I'm happy with. It just seemed like it kind of blindsided me, but no, I should give it like a B plus or something. It's a great move.
if it weren't for this Aaron Jones and Bakhtiari news, we would all be ecstatic. But
Yeah.
it's taken the back burner because you lose an Aaron Jones and a David Bakhtiari. But we are better. We are better than what we were, and we're going to add 11 more players in this draft. Who knows? They might trade up for one of these guys and not take quite 11, but we got better.
I'm with it.
We got better. We brought back Nixon and Davis and Wilson, and those were all just mostly special teams. Nixon, like we talked about earlier, is going to be along the defensive side. But, dude, the Packers are fucking good, and they're going to be playing in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's happening very soon. I remember earlier this season, my Browns fan coworker, he was saying that when the Packers were not looking so good, he was like, "It's going to be some dark days ahead in Green Bay," and I was like, "You're probably right," because Jordan Love didn't look great at the time, but it seemed like ever since that conversation, the Packers did way better, and just with these splashes in free agency, their future moves, they've got some young captains on an already young team, so the days ahead in Green Bay are bright and full of cheese, baby.
I like how he said the first tweet he put out, McKinney, "Say cheese." I'm like, fuck yeah.
Say cheese, baby.
We'll take you, buddy.
Hell yeah. Go Pack, go.
Is there any other grades you want to throw out there for any one of these teams, or we just doing Packers?
I mean, they all seem like pretty good moves. I mean, the Vikings made the funniest one with the Sam Darnold one. But, I mean...
That's a D.
Yeah,
That's a D.
Goofy one. But for everybody else, it seems like, I'm very excited for the NFL and fantasy-wise. This is going to be a fun year. I love seeing the shakeup of all this going on. But, I mean, yeah, I would... Even like the Steelers signing Russell Wilson, I'd give that. I give them an A on that one just because how cheap it is, and it's a very low risk move. And if it doesn't work out, they can just fucking get rid of them.
Well, yeah, that's an A for me because they got him on that cheap deal, and now Denver has to pay him even more.
Yeah.
So he's getting paid. He's a $40 million quarterback, but the Steelers are only paying him $1.2 million. So, oh god, that's a perfect deal. I think Russell's still got a lot in the tank, and I think that's a big deal, especially in that division. When you got to keep up, that's the best division in football, and you can't win that with Mason Rudolph or what was the other guy?
Pickett.
Yeah, you're not winning.
It's gonna be tough, especially when Joe Burrow's in there. But yeah, pretty fun offseason for everybody. And still some names left to go that I'm sure we'll cover in our next episode. I mean, nobody really too crazy, but we'll maybe list them off.
Kirk Cousins is an A.
Yeah.
I like that signing a lot for them.
Huge move for sure. That's going to elevate everybody on that team. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Robinson. Everybody's going to be looking a lot better. Kyle Pitts is probably just the happiest he's ever been in his life. Like, for real.
Well, Cousins likes throwing to his tight ends, so yeah. I think Pitts is going to have a big year.
Absolutely.
I really, really do.
It's going to be fun. But yeah, that's about all I got there.
Well, let's hop over to our friends on the NBA side. The Milwaukee Bucks just finished a 1-3 road trip.
Yeah.
That sucked. They got their asses handed to them against the Warriors.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I watched a little bit of that game, but yeah.
Then they lost to the Lakers, and D'Angelo Russell sold his soul for that game. He was like 9 for 13 from 3. He had one of the best games of his career.
Oh, man.
Of course, it had to be against us. Then you play the Clippers, who didn't have their 2 best players. We beat them by 7. That one didn't. I like the offense late in the game there. They developed a lot of Giannis and Dame pick and roll, and other than a late Brook 3, they accounted for almost all of our fourth quarter points. Just those 2.
Wow.
And obviously Brook Lopez can shoot, so if he has a chance, give it to him. But
it was nice to see us beat the Clippers both times in a row.
And then you go to Sacramento and they shoot lights out.
Yeah, I didn't watch that, but I just saw the score and I was tuning in and I was just like, whoa. They put it up for sure. They put it up on us.
They kicked our fucking ass and we're a better team than them, man.
I do not think Sacramento they're not really doing shit much at all this year, right?
They're in the playoffs.
Really?
They're a playoff team. They're good. They're decent. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, we should have absolutely put up a much better performance than that. I mean, that was just kind of what the hell?
Okay, looking at this, De'Aaron Fox scores 29 and the Kings snap a 15-game skid against the Bucks.
Holy hell.
So the Bucks have beat them the last 15 straight games. Okay, all right. They were due. We're fine.
I guess every once in a while, you're going to get got.
You're going to get got. And I just wish teams stopped fucking shooting lights out against us because it's really fucking annoying.
I know. I swear every time I tune into a Bucks game, it's just people are drilling threes left and right. Unfortunately, it's usually against us.
They made 18 out of 40, 45%.
Jesus. That is stellar.
Why?
If you do that every game, you're going to blow everybody out.
Why? Jesus Christ.
Some days you're just on, I guess, and it's just...
It's always against the Bucks. If you see the Bucks, you're going to win. I mean, no, you're not.
At least have a damn good shooting day.
You're going to have a damn good shooting day, and that sucks.
Yeah.
And the Bucks' road record is really starting to scare me because they're sitting right at 500, 17-17.
Oof, yeah, that's pretty it's pretty scary.
You got to win away, especially since you're going to have to win 1 or 2 games in Boston if you want to win the championship. And Jesus Christ.
Seeing coming up next Wednesday, we're playing in Boston.
Yeah, and that game we are going to watch live.
Yes.
So get Isaiah's feet a little more wet into this NBA echelon because there's only about 16 games left, man. Playoffs are fucking coming, and I'm very curious to see where this all goes.
Yeah, we got a few more against the Celtics. So and then
That late game against the Celtics, I think it's like a week after my birthday. Somewhere in there, that game isn't gonna fucking matter, in my opinion. At least for the Celtics. The Celtics are already gonna have the the first seed locked up, and the Bucks hopefully will have the second seed locked up. So that game will matter for the Bucks, not so much for the Celtics. But Cleveland's only a half game back right now of the Bucks, and they may overtake us for that second seed. But as long as we don't fall to the 4 seed, I think we're safe. But there's a lot of ways to go before we get to that 4 seed. We're 3.5 games up on the New York Knicks, who are hurt everywhere. They just got OG Anunoby back, which is good for them.
That's crazy. They're only 1 up on the Cavs right now.
Yeah, only a half game up on the Cavs is not good. The Cavs have been playing like shit, and Donovan Mitchell not playing helps us, but you don't want that to be the reason you get a second seed. You want winning to be the reason you get a second seed, and that road trip kind of sucked.
I was going to say the Celtics are going to have the record like the Bucks this year, and then just fail in the playoffs like the Bucks did, and they're going to get an injury. Bucks had such a damn good record in the regular season last year. Seems like that's just where the Celtics are going to head. They're just going to lose it, fail.
Well, if playoffs started today, the Miami Heat would be playing the Boston Celtics, round 1. And I don't know. I might take the Heat.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see Jimmy in the first round.
Yeah, he's just a killer. It's like you can't even stop that dude sometimes.
So that would be a very interesting matchup for sure.
The Wizards and Pistons with 11 wins. Wow.
There are some bad teams out there, buddy. They're just bad. They're just really bad.
That's just hilarious. But, yeah. We're also playing the Suns here in, when is that? It's in a few days.
That's this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got a buddy going
Sunday.
to that game.
Sunday, Suns are coming to Milwaukee. Aaron and I went to, I think that was my second ever NBA game. Oh, the first one was against the Celtics, and the second one too was the Suns.
First one was the Celtics you win with. Second one was the Suns. The Suns, that was the year we won the championship, and the Suns won on a buzzer-beating 3 from Devin Booker, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bucks got the 76ers, then the Suns, then the Celtics. I'm not calling these must-win games, but Jesus Christ, if we want that second seed, they got to win these games. The 76ers don't have Tyrese Maxey. Or, no, they just got Tyrese Maxey back, if I remember correctly. And Joel Embiid isn't anywhere close, so you got to win that game. The Suns, that'll be a very fun game because the Suns and Bucks are both fighting for upper playoff spots. The Suns, I think, are hovering around the 5 seed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we're 6 right now.
Yeah, and they're a game and a half back from the New Orleans Pelicans and only a half game up on the Sacramento Kings from staying out of the play-in tournament. Jesus Christ. So, we're going to get the Suns. We're going to see them, and they're going to bring it their all. Then you got the Celtics game, which Isaiah and I are going to watch next week, and which we'll dive into quite a bit.
Woo!
And the schedule really doesn't get much easier.
Yeah.
You got the Nets the day after the Celtics, so that's a back-to-back. We might lose that game. And then a couple days later, you got the Thunder coming to town. That's a big game. That's a good team. Number 1 in the West. Lakers, who are trying to get out of the play-in tournament as well, coming to town. We'll see if LeBron ducks Giannis yet again. He's been good at doing that.
Oh, yeah.
At the Pelicans. Pelicans are a sneaky fucking team, man. They're
Yeah.
top 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiency this year. And
wow.
they can make some fucking noise. I don't know how it's working. I don't know how they have a top 10 defense. I don't know. They have all offensive guys. You got CJ McCollum, offensive guy. You got Zion Williamson, offensive guy, who's been coming around a little bit. And then Brandon Ingram, again, offensive guy. So how they have this top 10 defense, I don't know, but
Good coaching, I guess.
Props to them. They can fucking play, and I'm worried about that game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And then you go to Atlanta against the Hawks. They probably won't have. Wow, I'm blanking on the guy that thought they could win a championship if he was healthy. Trae Young, thank you. Trae Young, he's not going to be there. Then they go to the Wizards on my birthday. You need to win that game.
Yeah.
They're fucking garbage. Versus the Grizzlies.
You're going to destroy them.
The next day, you got to win that game. Versus the Raptors, got to win that game. The Knicks, the 7th, that's going to be a fun one because the Knicks are going to be fighting for that 4 or 5. I think they're sitting right around 6 right now, and that's not good for them. They don't want to see the Cleveland Cavaliers round 1, even though they beat them round 1 last year. But if they don't get healthy, they're not going to do jack shit either way. They have to get healthy if they want to make noise.
Absolutely.
But fully healthy, the Knicks are a top 3 team in the East, in my opinion. Then you got the Celtics. Like I said, that game isn't probably going to matter for the Celtics, but who knows? They might want to be jackasses and try to beat us.
I'm sure.
Then you got the Magic, who are really surprising. They're, I think, the 4 or 5 seed right now,
Yeah.
and they have a chance to go up even more if they really fucking want to. They're not far behind the Knicks, and I don't think they'll catch the Cavs, or us for that matter. But maybe those games matter for them. I hope they don't matter for us. Then you go at the Thunder, which that game's really going to matter for the Thunder because they're fighting for the 1 seed.
That's going to be a pretty intense one.
And then the Magic again. And again, that might matter, it might not. But
Yeah, so that could be an easy end of the season for sure.
they have the 5th worst, hardest schedule in the NBA right now. And you got to win most of these games. I mean,
Especially the away games. We got to see the Bucks get some away wins here. It's got to start stacking them up, not just get a random one. You got to start stacking them up.
yeah, there's 16 games left. You got to win at least 10 of them to keep that 2 seed, in my opinion. Maybe even 11. Because, I don't know, let's look at the Cavaliers' schedule because I don't think it's that fucking hard. Okay, they're playing the Pelicans right now. Okay, that's decently hard. Then they got the Rockets, Pacers, Heat, Timberwolves, Heat, Hornets, 76ers. Okay, this isn't a cupcake schedule, actually. That makes me feel a little better. They got a lot of decently good teams to go against.
Once you actually look at the schedule, it's just oh damn, they actually got some dogs in there.
So that makes me feel better. They're beating the Pelicans by 8 right now at halftime, so we'll see how that game goes. But I don't know. The Bucks worry me, but a lot of the problems they had on this road trip was shot creation in the half-court offense, which is why he went and got Dame, but teams were trapping him like a motherfucker, double-teaming him a lot.
Yeah.
But that's good for him. He needs to know that because that's going to happen in the playoffs. But shot creation without Chris Middleton, there's not a lot. So getting Chris Middleton back will be huge for this team.
Yeah,
and
we need him back.
We need him back, but we need him healthy and back. So take your time, boss.
Yeah.
You are a king. You are a damn good player, and we need you fully healthy if we're going to bring another chip to Milwaukee.
Is he going to be looking to be back before the playoffs?
He was questionable the other day in the injury report, and NBA Twitter had their way with it. They're like, oh my God, he's finally coming back. Like, let's go. And then he's listed as out for tomorrow's game against the 76ers.
Boom.
So, no, give him time.
Yeah.
Let him take his time. Let him get healthy. Because when he's healthy, he's a damn good player. He can shot create. He can play defense. He can hit buzzer beaters. He's proven that multiple times.
Very tough shots. Very, very tough shots. Doesn't matter if someone's in his face. He can hit some tough ones. And yeah, he's got an ankle sprain right now, so it's definitely the sprains are not something you want to push because it could be obviously worse.
Well, that's from KD getting in his grill a little too much and him stepping on his foot. It didn't look good.
Yeah.
It looked like it fucking hurt. He continued playing, but the thing about ankles is it doesn't hurt right now. It hurts later.
Yeah, exactly. We put a lot of weight on it. It's going to definitely get worse and worse. So, yeah, we need Chris Middleton back, definitely. I think that'll be huge, obviously. Getting everyone back for the playoffs will be massive.
Chris Middleton is just one of those guys that you need, and he's one of the biggest wild cards in all of the NBA right now. Because if he's healthy, nobody wants to see the fucking Bucks, even those Celtics over there.
Definitely need to get him back, hopefully before the playoffs, I would hope, just to get that chemistry rolling again and get him back in the groove, because he's missed some time now, but...
I think 10 games is all he needs.
Yeah.
And then the first round, it depends on who we play. If we play the Heat, we need him. We need him. I'm sorry, but we need him. The Heat, that's a good fucking team. But
Yeah.
right now, playoffs started today, it would be the 76ers. As long as things in the play-in tournament went as I think they will. But I think the Heat might jump the 76ers and the Pacers. So I think it'll be between the 76ers and the Pacers who we play round one. And give me the Pacers. Fuck those little bastards. I want to beat them so fucking bad. Oh, we won the regular season, yada, yada, yada. And then Tyrese Halliburton had a really good bit on JJ Redick's podcast, Old Man and the Three, that I listened to. And JJ Redick called us a rivalry. He's like, what? Tyrese was very surprised. He's like, we're a rivalry because we beat him a couple times in meaningless games.
Yeah.
And JJ's like, you're okay. And he's like, no, give us a playoff series against them, and if we win, then it's a rivalry. But until then, it ain't shit.
Real rivalry.
Yeah. So I like the humbleness of them. And but yeah, I would love to see them and beat the piss out of them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because that's not a playoff team. They're fun. They have a long way to go, but they're fun. But I think we kick their ass.
Bucks Celtics has definitely been a pretty nice rivalry.
Bucks Celtics, that's a rivalry. We've beat them, they've beat us.
Yeah.
Miami Heat, we've beat them, they've beat us. The only times those two teams have beat us have when we've not been healthy. But we won't talk about that.
That's how she goes sometimes.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah.
The last time we played the Miami Heat fully healthy in the playoffs, we swept them.
Yeah. That was
4-0.
That was a quick one, yeah.
Then last year, we didn't have the best player in all of basketball, and all of a sudden the Heat are amazing. And they went on to the finals, which is great. Beat those shitty Celtics.
Yeah.
But when we're healthy, we're the best team in the East. The last time we were healthy, we won a championship. And we got better. Obviously, I think we can beat a couple of these teams with just Giannis and Dame, but if we're going to beat the Miami Heats of the world, the Boston Celtics of the world, and hell, even the New York Knicks fully healthy of the world, you need Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
And given it kind of sucks that he hasn't been back, but I'm also in the sense of take your time. We're fine right now. If we fall to that 3 seed, who cares? Who cares? Either way, whether we have home court against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round or not, I think we beat them.
Yeah.
And if Cleveland gets beat in the first round by Orlando, New York, Indiana, 76ers, Miami. I mean, Miami could jump to the 4 seed, and the Knicks could drop to the 8 seed.
Oh, yeah.
There's only 2.5 games in between these 5 teams. So that's going to be something to watch over these next few weeks of the last little bit of the regular season. Not that I care or the Bucks should care who they play, because
we're going to win anyways.
You're going to win that first round series. So I just think it would be interesting. But I would love to see the 76ers, because since the process started with Ben Simmons and and Joel Embiid, it's been, the process is coming. Like, no, it's not. And we should have played them in 2019, but Kawhi Leonard, bless you. Kawhi Leonard hit one of the most insane 3-point shots I've ever seen ever in my life to beat the 76ers.
Yeah. That art piece that they had hanging up there.
But I've always wanted the Bucks to play a healthy 76ers in the postseason. So I really hope Joel Embiid does get healthy and we do see them, because that would be a fun first-round series. It really, really would be. Obviously, I think it would be cooler if we played them in the second round after they beat Cleveland, because I think they can beat Cleveland.
Yeah.
But I want to see the 76ers or Pacers. That'd be a fun first-round matchup. If we get the Heat, let's kick their fucking ass. But then second round, you're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers and maybe one of these other teams. But everyone's looking forward to the conference finals. It's the Bucks. It's the Celtics. Oof, it's going to happen.
that's the must-see TV, and that's what I know we all want to beat them too. Especially, I mean, beating the team that good in the playoffs is always something. If you're not that team, then you want to beat that team, and it would feel very sweet for the Bucks to beat the Celtics in a series to go to the title. I know that would be very sweet. That would taste very sweet.
But after we beat the Celtics, they're going to be out where the Wild things are because they won't know what hit them.
Oh, look at that random little NFL update. Joe Flacco is signing with the Colts. I guess that just happened.
The uncertainty with Richardson, I like that move for them. You got a guy that can come in and win you games. He proved that he can win you games.
Yeah.
He carried Cleveland to the playoffs. So I like that move for them. I like that move for them a lot.
Joe Flacco adds to the list of old man quarterbacks they've had recently.
I don't know. I think that's another name the Vikings should have went after.
Yeah. Honestly.
He's better than Sam Darnold. And they settled for... Oh, my God. They're stupid. They're losing Justin Jefferson.
Apparently Justin Jefferson declined a full contract extension this year. I forgot what it was guaranteed, but it was some good amount guaranteed. But
because he wanted to see what they did with the quarterback.
Yep.
Hey, Green Bay.
He sees what they're doing.
Go get him.
Let's just say anyone
Go get him.
but Kansas City, if that could ever happen. But
Kansas City could and would.
Yeah.
But pick number 25 and Christian Watson for Justin Jefferson. Who says no?
I am do it. Give them 2 picks if they want it.
Christian Watson's a dog. He is one of my favorite Packers, but you have a chance to go get Justin Jefferson. Go do it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Go do it.
I was thinking that kind of recently. Like Christian Watson, I think would be interesting to trade because he has potential, and teams definitely would go on potential. But he has been injured a lot with the same damn injury. That's when we talk about injury prone. We're kind of talking about the same reoccurring injury going across. But
when he was in, we beat the Lions and we beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
that's 2 of the last 4 teams.
Yeah.
I mean, shit.
He had touchdowns in all those games. He's at least making plays, and yeah, I love Christian Watson.
We want Watson on the team, but if it's for Justin Jefferson, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Totally fair.
You go get Justin Jefferson if you have the chance. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen, but I would definitely take that.
Yeah. But yeah, for the Bucks, I don't really have a whole much more to add there, but I just want to see them win some away games here before the playoffs. Whoever it is, I just want to see them win away games. Like a couple in a row. Be feeling a lot more confident heading in when that happens for sure.
I think it sucks seeing them lose these away games, but until they get Chris Middleton back, I'm not going to worry too much.
Yeah,
I'm really not.
Also, get Chris Middleton back, get him rolling, and win some of those games, and I think we'll be in a very, very good spot.
Like, we're winning these games without one of our top 3 players.
Yeah.
And easily a top 30 player in the NBA. So, get him back.
Absolutely.
Get him back, bring him back, get him healthy, and look the fuck out, because we're coming.
We coming, baby. But, I mean, I don't got much else to add there. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to mention also, shout out Caitlin Clark, the Iowa women's team. Won their, got the championship there. That was a pretty awesome game. She started off kind of slow. 2 games ago, I think she was 0 for 11 on threes. In this game, she was like 0 for 6 or 7 on threes starting off, but then she was clutch city in the second half. So it's all about the full game.
That's going to be a fun team to watch. And then did you see that fucking brawl?
Yeah, I got him out of it. That was 6 chicks got ejected from that game.
Like, they were without a bench for the last couple minutes of the game. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
That was pretty fun. One of the girls' boyfriend ran down and jumped over the score table. And, he didn't, shove anybody, but he, got in some chicks' faces. And, a security guard immediately, got him out of there, and they kicked him out of the stadium. But you watch the video, you see this dude just run down there and jump over the score table. It's just like, what the hell?
Dude, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that. We don't do that. Let the women fight.
Let the chicks fight. Went from basketball to powder puff real quick.
Like, Jesus Christ. But if I was going to win, they got to go through that South Carolina team, and that's going to be when they play, not if, when. I think it's going to be in the title game, which it should be. That's going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a really fun game. And it's championship week. Championship week is done. I think, yeah, they put out the bracket this Sunday, actually. So at some point after Sunday, before the games start, we will put out brackets for both of these.
Woo!
It might just be a quick jump on episode, talk about our Sweet 16 and on. So that won't be a full-length episode, but we'll definitely do brackets for both men's and women's, and we'll break it down as best we can. But, yeah, thanks for listening. Isaiah, you got anything else to add, big guy?
I don't think so. Excited about the Packers free agents. Sad about the guys we let go, of course. But overall, very excited for these moves. But yeah, I mean, that's about all I got to add. Very excited for very exciting overall free agency as well for the NFL, and just the fantasy football player in me is very excited for the future in the NFL. So, thank you everybody for listening to the first episode. Thanks for listening to this one. If you made it this far, we appreciate y'all. But I hope y'all have an excellent week. We'll get back at you soon.
Like, subscribe, share, help us out. We really appreciate it, and we're going to keep coming at you. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Deuces.